Okay, so the last of the business level strategies that we're going to look at today is known as the best cost strategy, which is basically a hybrid approach between the low cost and the differentiation strategy. So as you can see here, it may be defined as an integrated set of actions taken by a firm to simultaneously pursue both low cost and differentiation. So firms with this strategy offer efficiently produced products, that is, they are relatively low cost, with at the same time offering some level at least of unique features, so thereby satisfying the differentiation criteria. As you can imagine, achieving these very contrasting objectives at the same time is quite tricky, and what we tend to find is this strategy, the best cost strategy, is quite difficult to achieve and certainly to be successful at, and we're going to look at some of those difficulties over the coming slides. For now, though, it's important to understand that it does require firms to be competent and flexible in an increased number of primary and support activities to achieve both of those objectives at the same time. And we've got a couple of examples here, which both compete in the same industry, the retail or apparel industry, and both pursue a best cost strategy, but potentially, as we'll highlight here, using quite different approaches. So the first, as you can see there, is Zara, who is certainly offer some level of differentiation. They're quite not a super premium brand, but they're better than your real low cost budget brands, but they're not overly expensive at the same time. On the same basis, and certainly pursuing the same strategy, we have Target. Oh yeah, look at that. The old Christmas tree suit. Who wouldn't want one of those? Not quite as premium, you might say, as some of the offerings from Zara, certainly based on those two photos there, but they pursue the same strategy, and certainly Target's slogan is actually expect more, pay less, and that's quite representative of the overall best cost strategy. When is this going to be best for you to go down this path? First of all, if product differentiation is the market norm, so if buyers expect that every single brand in an industry is going to be at least in some way differentiated from one another, then obviously if you're able to combine that with a low cost, then that is going to make your company be set apart from the rest. When there are a large number of value-conscious buyers who prefer mid-range products, when we get, or most best cost strategy providers usually have that sort of mid-range part of the market that they target. So it's not super cheap, but it's not super expensive either. So when we have a large number of buyers in an industry or a market who are looking for this sort of thing, then obviously this might be a good strategy. Also, when there is competitive space near the middle of the market for a competitor with either a medium quality product at a below average price or a high quality product at an average or slightly higher price, because that is what a best cost strategy is all about. And also when economic conditions have caused more buyers to become value conscious. So when they're concerned that they might still want a differentiated product, but they don't want to pay heaps of money for it, then you might be able to attract them with a best cost strategy. There are risks, as I alluded to before though, that come with this particular strategy. First of all, it is difficult to balance those two objectives. So when you pursue the best cost strategy, companies often find it hard to achieve both reduced costs and product differentiation at the same time. To do one or the other is often difficult in itself, and so to do both at the same time and be successful is quite hard. The other problem that we find many companies who pursue this strategy having is being stuck in the middle, like our friend Malcolm down the bottom here. This is when the firm's cost structure is not quite low enough to allow it to attractively price its products, and that its products are also not quite unique enough to create value for the target customer. So they've tried to achieve both, but have ended up achieving neither. Certainly the old saying, a jack of all trades but a master of none, certainly applies here. And what we often find, this may then result from firms failing to implement either the low cost or differentiation strategy. Sometimes they can't even decide. They think, oh well, we're not sure, we like parts of low cost, we like parts of differentiation, let's just do a bit of both. And that very often results in them being stuck in the middle of not quite cost leadership, not quite differentiation, and so actually appealing to customers on no basis at all. Research does indicate that firms using one of the pure strategies, that is either low cost or differentiation, or even a focus strategy, often outperform firms using this hybrid or best cost strategy, and this is often for one of the two reasons listed above.